Welcome to our second video about object pronouns. Last time we talked about indirect object pronouns, and this time we are talking about direct object pronouns. It will be a very similar format to the last lesson, talking about what a direct object is, as well as what is a direct object pronoun and what are they in French, how do we use them in a sentence, and then we're going to get crazy and try to use both direct and indirect object pronouns in a sentence. So let's start off. A direct object directly receives the action of the verb. It answers the question what or whom. So an indirect object, we talked about last time, answers the question to whom or for whom. This does not have to in it, it just answers the question what or whom. Some examples in English. We study French. French is a direct object because that is the thing that we study. It is the thing that receives the action of us studying. I like them. Them is the direct object because it receives the action of being liked. That is the thing that we like. If somebody said, "What do you like?" you could say them. They heard me. Me is the direct object because I am the thing that they heard. She loves you. You is the direct object because that is the receiving the action. And it interests us. Us is the direct object because that is the thing that is interesting. French direct object pronouns replace a direct object in a sentence very similarly to the function of an indirect object pronoun. Some overlap with what these pronouns are, but there are some new ones. So for me, it's me or M apostrophe if it starts with a vowel. You, familiar, is te or ti with an apostrophe. Him, her, or it is le or la, depending on whether the object you're replacing is masculine or feminine. Us is nous, and then you, either in the formal or the plural form, is vous. And lastly, them, or an object that's plural, would be replaced by les. So let's take a look at our example sentences. If we go back to the sentences from the other slide, we study French. Nous étudions le français. Our direct object is le français because that is receiving the action of étudiant. And so we'd replace it with le. So then it becomes nous l'étudions. We study it. I like them. J'aime bien eux. Eux or them is our direct object, so we're going to get rid of it and replace it with the direct object pronoun. In this case, je les aime bien. They heard me. Ils ont entendu moi. And then we replace that with ils m'ont entendu. She loves you. Elle aime toi. We replace toi because that is our direct object, and we replace it with the direct object pronoun, which is elle t'aime. Et finalement, it interests us. Ça c'est intéressant pour nous. This one's a little bit more complicated. We're going to get rid of that and change it to ça nous intéresse. Lastly, we can use both in a sentence. We'll practice some more of these in class, but just to give you a couple examples. Whenever we have more than one set of pronouns in a sentence, it always goes in this order. If you have any of these, me, te, nous, vous, ce, that will go first. Then if you have any of these, le, la, or les, that will go second. And then if you have either of these, lui or le, that will go third. So for example, I gave a test to my students. First, we want to look at the sentence and try to decide what the direct object would be, the thing directly receiving the action of giving, and then what the indirect object would be, the thing or person to whom or for whom the action is being done. When we translate it into French, it is j'ai donné un examen à mes étudiants. Et donné, that is our verb for gave. Un examen, that is our direct object because it is the thing that we are giving. And then mes étudiants would be the indirect object because that is to whom I am giving the test. So we want to do this one at a time, take our time. So first we're going to get rid of the indirect object, mes étudiants. So then our sentence would become je lui ai donné un examen. Except in this case it should be je leur ai donné un examen. Excusez-moi, go ahead and fix that in your notes. And then we're going to get rid of our second one, which is un examen. So then it's je le leur ai donné. I gave it to them. Next, my sister lends me a dress. Ma sœur prête une robe à moi. In this case, we have these switched in order. We're used to seeing the direct object first and then the indirect object. That's not always the case though. Like here, my sister's not lending me, she's not letting somebody borrow me, she's letting me borrow the dress. So in this case, the dress or une robe would be our direct object, and then me or moi would be the indirect object. So we'll start by getting rid of the indirect object, replace it with our indirect object pronoun, me. Ma sœur me prête une robe. My sister lends me a dress. And then we'll take it one more step by getting rid of une robe, our direct object, and change it to ma sœur me la prête. My sister lends it to me. Et ça c'est tout pour cette leçon. Get ready to practice and have even more fun in class.